Yeah, the one that everybody could basically understand, right, was just written in a common tongue, and it just was basically the recording of a guy who had gone on a certain expedition, and they'd found this crystal, and because he had the crystal, he started to uh, gain clarity. He started to learn things, remember things. He was able to basically function at a higher capacity. And the thing is that the way he came into it is into the possession of the gem is unknown because he doesn't record that. But you can see at the beginning of the book, it's more like someone kind of coming out of a little insanity, and then by the end, going like diving back into it because he misplaced what the crystal was. Or it was taken from him. He's not sure. He just couldn't find it anymore. There's not a lot of stuff that you need to be detailed other than the crystal itself. Um, seemed to give him an unnatural kind of glamour or uh like charisma that he could, wield to persuade others. He could use to um uh, basically enhance his own mental capabilities. But after the crystal had gone missing, um, the followers that he had, the people that believed in him, and all that began to dissipate, and he also began to lose his mind. It's a very dark read because you can slowly track someone stepping out of sanity, and for someone as wise and intelligent and as learned as you, it's quite gripping. It really takes the soul out of you. The second, I mean, the other book, the one that was mostly runes, that was just un, undecipherable. As you were flipping through it and flipping through it, it remained unreadable until you got to a certain page. That's the information I got to get to you because it was
Yeah.
all scripted. Now I sent you the image I put together, but I didn't. I only have some notes on what's in there, so I just got to flesh it out a little bit before I get it to you.
Okay.
And I think we left off with you guys still in the library. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we were still in the library.
The Gex is watching the book nerd
Oh,
with the
hold
cart.
on, I gave Christy the wrong thing. I'll be right back.
Library.
Could Primus even get in here?
What?
Aren't you like 8 feet tall?
I can duck.
Yeah, but I'm talking like all the shelves. Have you ever been to an actual library? They're narrow as hell.
Oh, believe me, I have knocked a few over by accident.
All right, good.
Depends on what kind of library you go to. A large city library usually has a wider hallway than a small town library because they actually have the room for it.
So real quick, you guys were all in the library with the old dude. I mean, not all, but Vitani, Gex, and Rai were all in the library. I think Primus broke off and went to, was it the Academy of the Channeled Arts?
Yes.
Yeah.
The sorcerer branch.
Yep, the Academy of Channeled Magics. Yes.
I only knocked over 4 bookshelves.
So I know you were headed over there, and then Keza, where did you end up?
Sleeping with a chick at the hotel.
It's not there
Nom.
yet.
Nom nom nom. Okay. So, well, if you remember my set of events, I stopped by the orphanage to see if I could spot the mysterious woman, and I followed her to a tavern.
Right where the rest of your day played out.
Mhm.
Got it.
And then I said after the events of that ended,
You would regroup.
I would regroup.
Okay. And then Kithend, where were you at?
I was at the brothel.
Okay. Stayed there all day. Okay.
Ian,
Oh, so sorry. You mean during the day? I went wherever you told me the lead took me. I think it was the university, the opposite place
Yeah.
of the party.
No, you guys.
It looks like most of the
Leaf couldn't have taken you anywhere. She's not in this game.
That's not okay. So you ended up going to. I think you did go to the university, but everyone else did. I think you just arrived there after.
Okay. I'm mostly going to be AFK right now since I'm making maps for next week.
No worries.
So that means in lore, he's head in a book.
So
Head in a book or head somewhere else?
let's go ahead and continue with the college. So you guys had found out some not necessarily clear information, but informative readings on what this crystal might do for someone. Versus, you also had got some cryptic messaging. I guess what's next on the docket?
Batani would like to make her way to the big temple.
Right. Okay. So you'll head over to the temple. For everyone else who's there, Rye and Gex.
Yes.
What's your next goal?
All right, I want to sell a hand crossbow,
Okay.
and I want to buy about 10 pounds of birdseed.
And about 10 pounds of birdseed. Okay.
I'm going to tag along with Gex and see if Gex does something interesting.
And if I can, I would like Primus to join me.
You can wait for him. He's still
I'm-
he's.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm
not
busy.
wait, but we'll see what when he gets out.
you hear that, Gex? You need
That's
to do
fine.
something amazing and outstanding, or else Rai will be bored.
I've already got something planned, don't worry. But anyway, how much do I get for the hand crossbow, and how much does 10 pounds of birdseed cost?
They're
Hey, you
willing to pay you.
What's this say I'll do? You know what, I'll just say, tell the shop owner I'll just trade him the hand crossbow for 20 pounds of birdseed.
Okay.
Perfect.
Done. You have 20 pounds of birdseed, which is quite a bit. He brings out a brown sack of it. It weighs about 20 pounds.
All right. I carry it. Literally half. No, is my weight.
We have no birds, but I'll help you.
Yeah, help me find Primus.
So, I
I
guess with
guess
that,
Okay.
we're gonna hop over to Primus and see what's going on in the academy. So, compared to the college where you walk in, there's a receptionist. It's this grand kind of ornate ordeal, and you see all kinds of people kind of just professionally kind of carrying themselves. Sorcerer's area is a lot more chill. The exterior is still very well put together, but when you step in, it's very low key. It's a lot of good, nice finished wood, but there isn't all these banners and filigree. It's just a very not necessarily just functional, but it's just like it has a relaxed feel to it.
This is the talent area of the college. All those sorcerers.
Right. So I mean, when you do enter, though, there is a gentleman who's just kind of seems like he's meandering about between two bookcases. He has like a small stack, and he walks over to a different, like just on the opposite side of this foyer, and just seems to be fixing some stuff that is out of place.
Cheer.
Hmm. Okay. So, to avoid what is this person? What race are they? Are they just like a human or?
Yeah, so in the kingdoms, you're going to see a lot of humans, which is no exception to this guy. He's just looks like he's got his hair kind of like cut, like almost like a buzz cut. Looks like he just maybe shaved it and it's growing back in. Um, just very standard, kind of like plain John kind of look to him. Other than uh, his robes are kind of like cut off, so they're sleeveless. They're just this muted red, and he looks strangely buff for someone who'd be casting spells.
Ah, one of those smart nerds. All right. I'm going to. How tall is he? 5 foot something or other. Average
Yeah,
height.
he's probably just shy of 6 foot, like 5'10".
Okay. I'm going to kind of get lower to the ground, almost like an uncomfortable crouch,
Okay.
so that I'm not quite towering over this man. Is he
Alright.
kind of paying attention to his surroundings, or has he noticed me?
If he has noticed you, he hasn't given you his attention, so he's not like looking your direction or anything.
And he's kind of just in between bookcases.
He's at one right now, just kind of putting like you knowing that you can't read, you can see these symbols, and it looks like the starting symbol of each book kind of matches and then changes to another symbol
Gotcha.
that matches. So it looks like he's rearranging things to match.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of go towards this individual and try and get his attention. So I'm gonna start talking to him. We are looking for a person.
Huh. Oh, hi. Yes. Wow. You're different. Hi. Do you need? Yeah. What? You needed someone who?
We are looking for Liz.
Liz. Liz. Do you have a maybe a full name?
We called her Liz, but her name was Elizabeth Van Dyne.
Kind of like pauses for a second, just looks at you, kind of like plainly, like
Ow!
turns just slightly and just like incorrectly stacks like books on top of books, like sideways on the properly stacked books until he's not holding any. And he just turns and gives you his attention, and he says, I know of Miss Van Dyne. She was a professor here some time ago.
We suspected. She taught us many things. We wished to speak with her again.
Okay. She's not here. She retired from the scholarly life. She's been doing a lot of exploring, from what I understand. I could get the prefect and see if he might be able to better guide you.
We would appreciate that.
And he just kind of gestures outward to some of the chairs that are just kind of placed around the foyer. A couple of them look probably not so Primus supportive. There are a couple benches that look like they're made of a lot thicker stuff that you might be able to sit on.
Okay, I will turn, and I'm gonna roll a d20.
Okay.
Okay, I probably hit a bookshelf with my tail.
Okay. Okay.
I'll head towards said furniture and destroy one of the chairs.
We'll say Okay. Um. All right. All right. So the bookshelf makes a Constitution saving throw. And doesn't drop books, but you do see that some are kind of shaken to where they could fall. Um. And when you go to take a seat on one of the not so sturdy looking chairs for your size and girth, you have a seat. It kind of holds for a second before it gives, and you just feel the crack. But given how you're starting to squat on it, you're not quite like falling down. The chair's definitely busted, but it's not given yet. You caught it just in time.
I'll proceed to move to the bench, but not
Okay.
say anything about the broken chair.
All right. So you are uh waiting for about, I'm going to say, about 15 minutes. And you see the guy come back and is kind of like muscle wizard looking kind of uh situation, and he just kind of gestures to you. And there's a much older gentleman, has like a well kept beard. He's kind of salt and pepper all over, wearing specifically white robes, with some gold, uh just kind of trim on it. And these are actually very, and when I say robes, I'm using that term generally because these are very tight. They're almost like
Mm.
stuck to his like body,
Gotcha.
and you can tell he's fit. He's not nearly as like buff as the other dude, but he's got himself in shape. And he starts like stepping down the steps towards you.
All these
Um,
sorcerers hitting the gym.
and he's and he's holding a big smile on his face as he approaches.
Well, that's a little concerning. I don't know if I've ever met this guy.
Yes, excuse me. My name is John Donnelly. I'm told you wanted to speak with me.
Yes, we are looking for Elizabeth Van Dyne.
Miss Van Dyne, yes, she has been traveling for some time. I haven't heard from her recently. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find her, but I could uh, possibly speak with her.
Um, where did she go?
She spent a time traveling the deserts. There
Oh,
was an unearthing of an artifact down that way that caused quite a stir. She's been spending most of her time in that region. But as I said, I haven't heard from her since she arrived, so I'm not sure if she'd still be in the area. It was a few months back.
hmm. um, do you have a map of the area we could use?
Mm, not of that area. Maps like that are typically local. What I would suggest, though, if you're looking to get a map like that, as much as I'd hate to send someone over to their school, and he like air quotes, like you could see he's like having a moment of
Yeah.
conflict. Uh, he says, you could talk to the people at the College of the Performing Incantations. They're travelers typically. They sing songs. They carry They carry the lore. What bards and minstrels do.
Hmm.
Um, I just am not a fan of their magic. Although the wizards give us the same ire because they feel like we just cut corners when we cast spells.
Magic is just magic to Primus. We appreciate you pointing us in their direction. Would you tell Liz that Primus is looking for her? She will know who we are.
I can try. If you come back in About an hour, a little bit over an hour. I should let you know if I was able to reach out to her or not.
We will do so.
Okay. Normally there'd be a fee for such a thing, but this is Elizabeth, and I have a question for her too. I'm sure I can work it into a single message.
We have money.
Oh, it's not necessary. Like I said, it kind of goes together. But as I said, you can come back in an hour. I'm happy to do this on the house this time. If you see a man over there who is wearing how do I say this? Very brightly colored robes, typically pink or yellow, and has a lute on his back, which is typical. He'll be the only one that looks like this. Tell him he owes me 50 gold.
We will do so.
Thank you. Like I said, about an hour. Did you need anything else?
If we think of anything, we will ask when we return.
Fantastic. Well, we'll see you soon then. And he kind of gives you a little bit of a bow and a nod, and just holds out his hand to the door.
Okay. I will stand up to my full height and copy the gesture.
He's maybe a little bit taller, but not to a height that would make a severe difference. So you're still looking quite a bit down at this guy, and he seems impressed.
Big dick energy.
All right, cool. I guess I'll wander over the barred area and look for a map.
All right, so easy travel. It's right across the street.
Yeah.
Stepping in here, it's it's kind of like stepping into the wizard's place, but it's again not as official. It's very showy. There are tapestries, there are some banners around, but they are depictive of instruments and musical themes, and you see actually kind of showcased in the front are 5 different instruments from left to right. Violin, there's a drum. It looks like a snare drum, but it's not like a typical thing you'd see in this era. There's a large kind of like a, what do you call that large flute thing? I think it's called a bassoon.
I'm 100% sure.
Well, it's sitting in the middle. There is a small kind of drum-esque thing, but it seems to be sat vertically rather than horizontally, with 2 very large drumsticks in the back that have these big white batons at the end. And at the very end, on the other side, uh, is a small flute that's just placed on, just like a little rest. And beneath it is a book, and they're behind behind this glass just individually. And at the front are these 2 girls that are kind of going back and forth about some kind of play or something that they had watched the previous night. They don't seem to notice you stepping into the open doorway. These doors are wide open. Natural light is just pouring into this place. Windows are everywhere. The sun is kind of at the opposite side now, so it is just very well lit.
Okay. It's 2 girls standing in front of a glass case full of instruments.
They're sitting behind a kind of like a big kind of desk, and there are papers just kind of scattered messily about the desk. And like I said, they're kind of bantering back and forth, and you do hear what sounds like a pretty well put together kind of band sound in the background. It's very faint, but it's coming from the right.
Okay. I'm going to approach these two and start talking to them. We are looking for a map of the desert. Very much to the point.
They both like turn like just quickly and turn and look at you, and they go to look where they would normally look, and they hit more like the middle of your torso, and they both tilt their heads back to actually look up at you. And one of them is just like quiet, while the other one's like, "Oh my god,
Oh
you
no.
are so tall."
Nope. Let's find new people.
Oh. Literally the Britney voice. Oh my god.
Where can we
These are
find
just
a
the
map?
people for Tani.
I'm sorry, you said you needed a map?
Yes.
Oh, a map. A map of where?
I
the
wish
desert.
Gex was there.
Is there a fantasy mall she needs to go to?
Yeah, it's called the Bazaar.
All right, so go ahead, go again, Primus.
A map of the desert.
Oh, a map of the desert. We have maybe a map of the desert. Where is that? It's Becky, and the other girl kind of looks
name.
over.
Oh my god, one of
And-
them is called Becky.
So like
Is the other one called Candy?
the horse girl, Candace, looks over
Can this dick fit in your mouth?
at the girl who was just talking, and she's like, I mean, I can go ask, and she's like, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about, go. And she gets up and scampers off, and the girl who's been talking to you kind of looks back, and she says she's gonna go talk to a guy who actually knows about maps. Like, that's not my thing. I actually do vocals.
Thank you.
Okay.
He
You know, you're really
doesn't know
tall.
people.
Do you work out?
And so
You know what
this
they say about
girl's
tall guys?
this girl is probably like, she's definitely human, like as far as humans go, but you can see just a faint piece of elven heritage with a tiny little point on her ear. So she's probably like a quarter elf.
Gotcha. Okay. What was the sorcerer admin guy that I talked to? What was his name? It was John something, right?
John Donnelly, yeah.
Okay.
John Cena. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
So in about 20 minutes, it actually takes you're basically being chatted up by this chick for 20 minutes until Candace comes back, or sorry, Becky comes back, and she has a kind of how do you say, like a true nerd kind of guy with her. He's very
Nerd!
he's like 6'6". He's definitely on the taller side for a human. He's very thin. He's very pale. Wears just like your classic Coca-Cola black glasses. Very very thick. Like, you can see it like from a side vantage point. Like, the glass is fucking thick. And he's actually pretty well dressed. Like, he's kind of in a suit, but like business casual. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And he just kind of wanders down. And Becky's like, yeah, hey, this is Scott. He's gonna be able to help you out with maps. And the boy looks at you and is like, so you said you needed help with maps.
Yes, we need a map of the desert.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can check and see what we have. We don't typically keep, you know, East Coast maps in here, but we can check. If you want to come up with me,
Lead the way, and I'll follow him.
he's like super intimidated. You could just tell he's doesn't even like for the way you look versus the way he is just like you are so much bigger in every way. And he is just physically intimidated. He takes you up to up to a loft, and you can see a bunch of scrolls that are just wrapped up. They're not like spell scrolls, they're just, the way information's kept here. Just filling shelves. And then there is a particular section that has that actually has in common just like a big placard above it that just says maps. And he goes to consult like this small like space that has just different maps. A lot of the splots, like it's like a, what do you call it? One of those square kind of things, like it's a
Like
big
it's a big
Cubbyhole.
square.
space. No, it's not a cubbyhole. It's a square bookshelf with just square openings with assorted amounts of maps put in. Some of them have, especially the local ones, like you can see. Again, like I know you can't read, but like there's one that has like a shit ton of maps rolled up in it, of various size, but there's a bunch of them. Some of them are completely empty. And he's just kind of looking around. I'm gonna say for the purposes of this to go ahead and make let's say just make a check with your cartographer's tools. Just
Ooh.
just to
Okay.
check with that. I think that would be relevant here.
Let me see. That would be my wisdom with the cartographer tools.
I think
Would
you
it-
could go either way. I think you could use intelligence or wisdom.
The thing is, isn't it attached like to your like survival, or so it'd be wisdom?
Yeah, so yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead and make
Okay.
a with
And I'm
wisdom and proficiency. Yeah.
Proficient. Okay, good. See what happens here.
12, okay.
Roll.
Let's go. At the college. Okay, so you are at the college. You're looking at this shelf with him, and he's pulling out a couple of different things and opening them up, and they're not helpful. They're not what you're looking for. He eventually, with you looking to just pulling out a couple of maps and unwrapping them, you don't know what the thing says. When you open up one, it kind of looks like one of the areas you recently looked at, which was like on the world map is kind of what you saw, but like just half of it, right? You're able to pinpoint that one focuses specifically in the area of the lower how do you say it? It would be the southwestern quadrant of the map, and it focuses specifically on the lower three cities where they are, and it cuts off where the Elvish land is, and it just has that area kind of pseudo mapped out. And that's kind of like the most recognizable one you get, but the other ones are all messy and they don't really have distinct values, so they may be somewhere that you haven't explored yet or haven't seen on a map. But eventually Scott just kind of looks at you and he kind of looks nervous. He was like, so it doesn't look like we got one. And he just has this like, please don't hurt me face.
Well, he'll roll the maps back up and put them back, and kind of turn to Scott, and say, "Thank you for looking."
Of course, sorry I couldn't be of more help. If you ever, I don't know, need anything? You can come back. And he's like just trying not to not to say anything that would offend you.
we
There,
will
there,
do so.
there are like 2 other people in the room, and they're just kind of like watching him like freak out.
You just hit him with "I don't believe in apologies," and then
Yeah,
you just
this literally looks like MIT. Like there's just nerds and chubby kids everywhere.
Right. I've got a passive perception of 16. Have I come across anybody wearing red or yellow robes with a lute on their back?
so
No,
that you can kill him.
not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
If he's in the building, he hasn't been somewhere visible. You were kind of taken down like a corridor and then up a flight of steps, and this room was kind of at the top there. And he'll walk you back down and back into the foyer. Still no guy with those kind of colors.
Gotcha. Okay. Is Becky and Candace, are they still at their table by the entrance there?
Becky looks like she's like just kind of left the room. Like when you came in, she was on her way out. But
Gotcha.
Candace is still sitting there, and she's just scribbling in a little book.
Okay. I'll go up to her, and if you see someone wearing red or yellow with a lute on their back, tell them John Donnelly wants his 50 gold, and then I'll leave.
Okay, bye.
She ain't gonna remember.
She isn't gonna remember.
No, I didn't expect her to.
So you head out. That searching through all those maps and stuff, it didn't take no time. Like he had to unroll a bunch of them.
I mean,
you had
I
to
was
unroll a
with
bunch of
Becky
them.
for 20 minutes, so
Yeah, you were hanging out there. So you're probably either just at or just shy of or just over an hour. So going back would be a pretty fair straightforward move.
I don't really have that good of a sense of time, but I imagine I figure out.
By this time, could Gex be waiting to find Primus by the college?
This would be. Let me see. You guys were in there. Vitani was reading. You were messing with them. Yeah, you guys only took like I think it was like 45 minutes to get where you were. So yeah, I would say after you fucked up his his cart, yeah, you could be outside now.
Alright. Primus over here, bud! Goddamn fucking tall fucking thing.
What are you doing, Gex?
Hey, Primus, you mind carrying this for me? It's fucking, like, my weight.
Alright, I'll one-hand it and grab it.
Between the 2 of us, it's not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Primus, you pick it up easy.
Yeah, see, these tall folks are good for something at least. Thanks, Primus.
Alright. I'm gonna
Right.
I'm gonna sniff it and see if I figure out what it is.
Taking a sniff of it, it smells like a smattering of different wild seeds. Some of which are familiar, some not so much. And it also has kind of the air of like some stale bread, so it looks like they mixed in some dry breadcrumbs into that.
Gex, why are you gardening? We don't have time to stay long.
No. See, I've got a plan, Primus, and it's a brilliant plan. Just like last time. Remember how last time went?
You bought seeds before?
I sure have.
It looks like
Respect.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't understand.
Alright, how big is this college?
So
Bigger than me.
all three of them are roughly the same size.
And how big are each one of them?
Each of them are at least 3 stories, but
Mhm.
some of them are, like for example, the Wizards is much thinner, but it's also much taller. It's got 5 stories to it. It's kind of like a tower.
Right. And how many nerds are walking around the place?
Just in the grounds, like you can see a few, like here and there, like, and there's like these like fences that kind of divide them, but there's openings in each fence so that the yards interconnect. It's just meant to kind of show what each college is responsible for, and it does look like the minstrels haven't been keeping up the grounds as much as they should have.
All right. Okay. Not enough. Okay. Second question: is there like a real rich area in this town, in this city?
It's Luxland, like half the city probably, but there is a specific ward for dignitaries, diplomats, and nobles.
Perfect. Primus, what are you doing later there, my friend?
We need to speak to another, but after that, if the Skyfire is still high, maybe a nice sleep in the park.
The park? That's just where I want to go. Hey, tell me, Primus, how do you feel about birds?
We enjoy their company.
Perfect. Let's get this ball. Let's go do your thing. You know, I'll accompany you. How about that? Let's go see these fucking nerds.
Very, very well. Don't be rude.
All right, I'll be on my best behavior.
Ha!
All right, I'm gonna.
Now, what constitutes as rude?
Yes.
I love it.
This is a big brain question. Well, mostly, do you recall the trader from the other town or earlier? Was it the other town or was that earlier today with the great sword? Was that another town or was that this town?
That was in Green Rest.
Okay, that was
Sorry,
the other
Green Ridge.
Gotcha.
Which one, the scam artist or the one with the caravan?
No. He's asking what town you guys were in whenever you set up the bar fight.
Well, we talked to two merchants there, the scammer and the one that was leaving town.
I think I specifically asking about the great sword.
Oh, the scam artist. Yeah, I remember that person.
Okay. That everything that you said to that individual or person, don't say to this one.
Look, bud. Look, I won't even say a word. I won't even talk to the tall fucks. Don't worry about it. They got nothing important to say anyway.
This one does. They're helping
All right.
a friend, and I wish to find that friend.
All right, Mums. You know, look, you see the key? I throw it away.
I follow where he throws the key.
Okay. You retrieve the key.
Yeah.
It,
We will give it back when we are done.
thumbs up.
Okay. We head to my appointment.
The guest looks at Ryan and rolls his eye.
So, you walk in, and actually, just as you walk in, shuffling down the steps is John. He looks to be in a pretty jovial mood. And
That's about to change.
As he steps down, he's about to say something to you when he pauses. looks down, just sees this towering lizard man with these two miniature-sized individuals on either side of him, and is just super like has a moment of like how the hell did these three get together moment, but then like just kind of escapes it. And again, he's about to say something and then pauses again, and he looks into your hand and he's like, "I'm sorry, can I ask what you need with all that bird seed?"
He kind of looks at it and then down to
Gex leaves the building.
as Gex leaves, and I'll turn back to John and kind of it's his, and kind of point back to him as he's walking out.
Interesting. I wasn't aware that birdseed was a part of a kobold's natural diet, but I mean, you learn something new every day. So I reach out to Elizabeth. Good news is that she was able to reply. So turns out she's still in the desert region. And she wanted me to convey greetings to you, and wishes she could have elaborated.
Hmm.
But yes, it looks like right now she's in the desert.
We are glad that she is okay. Sadly, we could not find a map.
Yes. Again, those are usually regionally kept. We do have a couple that are outside of the norm I'm aware of. I know we have one of the frozen wilds for what has been mapped, not much. But if we happen to find one, now that I've met you, I could let you know if we come into possession of one.
We would be very grateful for that.
Of course. And he just kind of looks again, like over to Rye, who's just like kind of chilling, and then back up to you, and he has like this kind of like very small question mark on his head, but like not necessarily probative. He just finds it kind of odd that like a 3'2" Drayling is with a 7'8" lizard. You can just naturally pick up on his just confusion because it's very telegraphed.
Yeah.
But he kind of writes himself and is like, well, sorry, I can only do that once a day. But if you have need of anything similar to that in the future, feel free to stop by. We do offer a number of magical services.
We will keep that in mind. Thank you for your time in this small quest.
Of course. Good day to you both, and I have work to get back to.
Okay, bye.
As do we, and I'll turn around, try not to hit anything else with my tail.
Sure.
I'm gonna hit you right on that tail.
Okay. Feel free to climb aboard the Primus Express.
You hear literally as you walk out, and you have a Drayling kind of like holding like like a rope upside down, and she's just kind of like swaying about on your tail as you walk. You hear probably a trio of chuckles.
Oh yeah, that's totally fine. I don't turn my head or anything. I've got a mission. I have to get this bird seed back to Gex and unlock his mouth.
Unlock his mouth.
So you retrieved the figurative key.
Ah, finally! That tall fuck just set me off. I bet he said something stupid after I left, didn't he?
Just information that was relevant to me.
Alright.
Or us.
Alright. Right, is that you back there?
Yes?
Oh, right! That's a smart idea. Yeah, I'll hop on too.
Damn.
It is where Rye is. It's easy for her to get around, but where you're trying to get at, it's a lot more girthy.
Primus, pick me up, bud.
Alright, I'll pick him up and put him on my back.
And I'm like, alright.
Hold on to the big spikes.
Yeah.
And I'll hold on and I'll point in the direction to the rich area little park. You know how the rich areas have like a little park?
Oh yeah, so you can. I mean, it's not too hard to navigate. Just asking, hey, where can I find XYZ, and pretty much anyone could let you know. It's easy to get to, and it's not necessarily guarded or anything. Beyond what's normal to see a couple patrolling city guards. But you do eventually arrive at a very well put together, well pruned, pristine kind of flower garden with some strange magical kind of just like glamorous effects. It looks like there's like a what's it called? A angel kind of figure, like a almost like an ASMR with their wings out.
Okay.
Holding-
As we approach this area, like as we're walking,
Uh-huh.
Gex is taking a little bit of the bird seed, throwing out the birds to follow him,
Okay.
like the pigeons in the area.
All right. Hold on a minute. You have a couple dozen that start gathering, and it looks like there's a couple more coming down too.
Yes, excellent. All right, Primus, to the park, my friend.
I pick up the pace.
Yeah. So the park, it's immaculate. Like I said, it has like these fountains. It's got beautiful, well-kept flowers everywhere. It just looks like a perfect like picture of an English garden. It's beautiful. But there are like assorted wrought iron benches placed around, and there are a few spots, like it looks like under a tree there's actually like a table that's set up kind of like picnic table style, just like a lot more fancy, and there's a few spots like this, and you do see just like a couple people walking around. It's not really populated, mostly humans, and then there is a dwarf couple.
Yeah. How tall are they?
The dwarf guy is probably pushing 5 foot, but the girl's like 4.5.
All right. Okay, Primus, I need your help, bud. All right. See all the tall fucks that we walked by?
Yes.
See these birds that we have here?
Yes.
I need you to talk to them for me. Tell them I got a job.
Okay. We can do that.
How many birds are on us right now?
I'm gonna say you pick up a couple more. So you had about number-wise 27, and by this time another 10 have joined. So you have over 3 dozen.
All right. I tell them. Now, Primus, tell them I got a job for them.
Okay. I'll go to one of the pigeons and tell it that the orange one has a job for
Orange.
them. Oh, purple? Are you purple?
Purple.
Sorry, I was thinking standard kobold. My bad.
Yes.
Thank
This is a job.
Thanos.
Yeah, this is a job for all of them, Primus.
A number of cheaps kind of come up, and it's very basic. Like they you understand that they're listening to you, and you have their attention. And a lot of them seem impressed because typically the only people that can talk to animals naturally are, of course, Draylings and Halflings.
All right.
Gnomes.
Tell them I pointed the bag. Tell them if they do a mission for me, they'll get this entire bag of seed.
Okay. I essentially word for word tell them what Gex is saying.
Okay. So, conveying that to them, you. Oh, sorry. You are able to kind of like you notice they start bouncing up and down a little bit, and they huddle in a little bit closer, which seems to be a positive result.
All right, now repeat after me, Primus. For the next week, if they shit on every single tall fuck they see, I'll double this.
Okay. Word for word, I repeat.
Rye, since you're present, you do understand everything. The magical translation you don't quite pick up, but you know obviously what he's saying. The response of the pigeons are also positive, and if you could just picture an evil, maniacal look on 37 pigeons, you understand that you now have your aerial bomber party.
All right, and I tell them, tell your friends, and I'll bring even more.
We can help with that. I say to Gex.
Soon the bird army will rise.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, conveying that, you see again more hops, a little bit more crowding, but they're starting to flutter their wings like they're getting ready to take off.
Awesome.
And
But
yeah, it kind of looks like this right now in front of you. There are just an unrealistic number of pigeons starting to gather, and they're starting to get ready to take off.
Gex salutes them.
And just birds just floating out everywhere.
That's going to be messy.
All right, Primus, I think it's about time for our nap.
Primus, you might want to change into something very small. And you might tell our friends to do the same because they kind of
No mercy!
they fit the description, and well, yuck. Gex, they share our rooms. Last thing we want to smell is that.
Nah, you share a room.
Yeah, sadly, also, these birds aren't going to be able to differentiate.
No.
They might not hit Primus, but other than that, everybody's a target. That's like above a certain footage.
Pigeons real good at telling who's tall and who's short.
No, they're not. Everybody's getting it. It's the whole city's under fire.
Yeah.
I think we should probably take shelter.
If I recall, there's a tree with a picnic bench underneath it.
Yes. Gex, I should ask, you're gonna have this bag of seed, or you just like kind of scattering it out everywhere, or?
Right now, I'm using it as a headrest as I wait for my soldiers to return.
Okay. So I mean, they blitz out, right? They're all over the place. You see, obviously they leave line of sight, whatever. And in about, I'm gonna say, plus, yeah, it's pretty quick. Like 15 minutes about. You start to hear a number of ews and, oh, I can't believe it. You too. What's going on today? And it's just like distant. Sometimes you can hear it clear. Sometimes you can just hear shouts. Sometimes you can, there's like one particular like really frustrated scream of someone who's just really had a bad day, and just the period on all of it hit him.
Just spreading good luck all over the town.
Just the end of his day, Since Kaiza was walking around this time.
Oh no.
Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Rip Kaiza.
Oh, she's gonna have bird poop on her when she goes and meets her friend. Gonna drastically change the whole conversation. Gonna have to have it all over again.
Bastard.
Zia?
Well,
Yes?
I think she's rolling IRL.
yeah, we're
Hello?
rolling. Yes, hi.
I'm here. Do you guys not hear me?
No.
Dex save, baby.
Oh, a dex save.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part.
Gotta dodge some
So you
pigeon
don't get covered in bird poopy.
She's a rogue. She should be able to get this.
Don't jinx it.
Math. 21.
Yeah, easy. It was a low DC. So, you actually hear around you like a little bit of chaos, right? People don't know why, but there are birds everywhere, pigeons essentially, that are just shitting, and they're hitting people, and it almost seems intentional. And just as you hear someone maybe 10 feet away from you just be like, "Ah, it got me," and he looks up, he kind of points. It looks like the one that got him kind of like is swerving around to come for you, and you're able to just kind of like sidestep where it would have landed on you. And it's very casual, like it's not even like a dramatic jump. You just like step, and it
Yep.
just
It's the
And-
suaveness of him.
The streets are gonna be filthy.
yeah, you're very able to, with that roll, continue to be casual about it until you get to your destination and then to your next. Well, you get to your first destination, you're not going to be, it's going to be over by then. So 15 minutes later, as I said, this, not a couple dozen, but you literally have probably 100 fucking birds just land in this strip. Like they're in almost a straight line, and they're starting to kind of amalgamate into a much larger group close to you.
Alright, I lift the bag on my shoulder, look at the group, I salute with my other hand, and get my dagger out and poke a hole, and I start walking a line for the soldiers.
They you can tell there's some greedy ones that don't necessarily wait. They kind of like flutter up and land, but as you walk that line, it takes not a long time to dump out, not even a minute to get it empty. And it's a straight line, it's scattered out everywhere, and the birds are all over the seed, pecking, going crazy. Even though it's 20 pounds, like there's 100 birds, and they're not stopping arriving. Like there's still more coming back. Birdseed probably isn't going to see the end of the day.
That's fine. I'll be back tomorrow with double.
So 15 minutes of hell. Raised. Congratulations. Primus, you have a vector on Elizabeth.
Yep.
Rise hanging out. Giza, we know what's gonna happen with you.
Oh,
We will
Cathan says, "Can I start shooting birds from the window for the hell of it?"
for the hell of it.
All the soldiers didn't make it back.
There will be
They pay the
there's always
ultimate
gonna be
price.
casualties in war.
War never changes.
The only time that war doesn't take casualties is when you play Fire Emblem Imperfect every map.
I'm sorry, am I fucking blind?
A couple of good casualties on the enemy side.
Where did
Yeah.
Kithen put this message? I don't even. Oh, here it is.
In the
Never
roll
mind,
20.
In the roll 20. Yeah, sorry. I was in the.
But then another thing is I would like to this time fully sell my other hand crossbow, and then use gold to buy I don't know a couple days worth of the seed, maybe at different locations.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's that bazaar you can go to. That's very kind of
You just clean out the city supply of seeds.
not necessarily super populous. But there is like not nearly as big as obviously Green Ridge, but there are some merchants or whatever. I think if you go to a number of general stores and such, you could probably amass 100 pounds of seed.
All right. How much would it cost? Just sold my hand crossbow.
Right. Let me check.
Oh, this is gonna be a dark spot on this city's history.
Okay, because 10 pound of feed per day, is only like 5.
Yeah,
5.
a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, for 10 pound of seed per day, right? So you'd be able to whatever 10 times that price.
Jeez.
All right. So 100 pounds. All right. So 5 silver.
Done. You have 100 pounds of seed.
And I have how much did I sell the hand crossbow for?
Well, you didn't sell it. You traded it.
Oh, I thought I sold it this time.
The first one was traded. The second one was going to be sold.
Yeah, he's selling
Yes.
the second one.
Right. The second one, so you could sell that one for about 30 gold.
Perfect.
Now, is this before or after tax? Like,
That's right. I'll take 28 just to be on the safe side. I don't die IRS after you guys. No, I just put the bird seed in the quiver.
In a quiver?
Yeah, yeah, by accident. Okay, I'm gonna move it to Primus.
So that's you for now. Vitani, you were leaving the I believe it was the academy. No, not the academy. The university. Right?
Library. Yeah.
Yeah, you're headed out of the university, and you were wanting to go to the kind of like big
Temple
central
area.
temple. Yeah. Okay.
watch
So
out for birds.
there's like a specific ward that has a few large temples dedicated obviously to the 3 big ones, as I mentioned. Which God, I know Torm. No, was it Torm? Torm? Sorry. I think I have it in here. Let me just check. Yeah, so Tyr, the human god of justice, Moradin, the dwarvish god of the defenders, and Yandala, the halfling goddess of creation and protection. There's like a church that's dedicated to basically those 3. It's not necessarily the same religion, but since their holy days are on 3 different days, they're able to construct just a big ass temple for everyone to assemble at without having to build 3 different buildings. But there are a few smaller temples around.
She's looking for the one that she's, her goddess.
Right. Looking for a Salunit temple. Sorry, there's some down here. Where is... Where's my notes? I don't remember if Saloon had a temple here.
You said it did.
Yeah, I think it... Yeah, it had a small... Yeah, there's a smaller kind of... Not necessarily a temple. It's like more like a church. It's like a local church size building.
Okay.
Inside is very, familiar filigree, that same kind of dark midnight blue with the silver and some black here and there.
This time before she actually goes in, she's putting her cloak up and over her head as she goes in.
Okay. So you go in semi-disguised, and there's only one kind of like, I want to say like younger.
Is this place, is it smaller than the one that we were just at?
It's roughly the same size. It's not as
okay,
it's not as small. It's a little bit bigger.
Okay, because they said that the temple people at the other place said that this one was the bigger one.
It is bigger. It's just not as impressive as they may have made it sound.
Got it.
But it is bigger. You can definitely tell that there's a third row of pulpits rather than just like two small ones. It's got a lot more length to it. Like I said, it's a lot of the same like design. There is only one person visible, and they are kind of at this I want to say an altar, and it looks like they're setting up for something.
She's just going to take a seat in the back.
Mm-hmm. So having a seat, like the person notices you, they kind of like just give you like a wave, like a greeting, but it's not like she doesn't approach you or anything. She just goes back to what she was doing. Just looks like arranging things. It looks like possibly they cleared this off, cleaned it, and they're just putting the stuff back.
Okay.
So what are you looking to do here?
Well, she's going to let the girl finish and then approach.
Okay. You come up on her. She turns. She's dressed in the traditional vestments, so things you've seen 100 times, right?
Uh-huh.
She just has her hands folded in front of her, and she's like, "Hello."
Hello.
Hi. So, our service is in about 2 hours. Did you need something right now?
I was just curious on if you all had the same message as the other place that I was just at in Green Ridge.
Oh, I'm sorry. A message?
From our goddess.
Oh, the vision of the Leonian woman.
Yes.
Of course, she's kind of famous in our space right now. It's been a long time since we've been able to record a direct vision that was sent to the masses.
Oh boy.
Yes. Are you the head of this?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Father Tomlin retired a few months back. I took over.
Ah. I had not gotten a chance to come this far out from where I was, although I am a very long way from home.
Oh. Where's home?
I highly doubt you would know of it. It's Not even on this continent.
Oh, yeah, that's rare to see people from a completely different continent. From what I understand, the boats are barely able to make those voyages.
She just says, she just is like, yes.
Well, okay. Um, but yeah, was there something you wanted to ask and related in relation to the vision?
What was the vision you all had of the Leonin?
It was very brief. It's pretty much the same story everywhere. We saw the visage of the Leonin, and the general message was to assist as possible. It's very rare to get, like I said, a direct message, but also to have such clarity. Like normally, when you see a visage, a vision, it's left to interpretation. I think in the text, this kind of direct delivery has only happened twice.
What other times has this happened?
Before the times of trouble, Saloon had named her first champion, and she was able to uh, speak to her directly. It was a very special gift for that particular person. And then during the times of trouble, Saloon had clashed with Umberlee's avatar, and a direct message was sent to the church, letting us know that uh, we were to beware of Umberlee's following because they had started, challenging one another. It was kind of out of left field, and they've remained enemies since.
How well are you at interpreting messages and dreams?
Dreams, messages. I would hope that I'm as good as another, but a lot of them can be really murky. Did you receive a vision?
I did. And Tony's going to reach into her bag and hand her the notebook
Okay. It's
with
the one with the
is it
ramblings.
yeah, it's the one with the not just the ramblings, but the vision that Vitani received
Oh, so you
herself.
took that image that you saw.
The
Is that
the the the
Oh,
words
right,
that
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you saw the vision and then there were words. So you just took down the
Yeah.
words?
No, she also wrote down everything, but not just saying from the book. I'm also saying from her dream thing,
Okay. Right. Okay. So you give her
the
the
notebook that she
this
has that
yeah,
the Connie has.
so you hand over the notebook and the notes on the dreams and stuff that you have.
Yes.
Um it's going to take her some time to kind of go over it, but it's not
Okay.
like forever, right? So
Yeah, she's just quiet.
right. So you have a seat. She's kind of standing up at the pulpit, kind of going over the notes and such. And you see a lot of kind of shocked, kind of like looks on her face. And when she finishes reading the notes and the message that you received, um, she kind of looks your way uh, with not want to say confused, but like an a face filled with awe, and she's wondering if you're the Leonin. You can see the inquisitive nature because obviously it states in the thing that you were born for certain
Yeah.
stuff and that there's a specific
When she's
mission.
done reading, Vitani will like slip her hood off.
All right, so it's it's very similar to the previous reaction,
Uh-huh.
She steps around. She kind of gets down into like a prayer position, and she starts saying some words that I'm curious to know if you understand. Do you speak Undercommon?
No. I speak
Okay.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and Leonin.
Okay, so you hear a language you don't fully understand, but I think that you would easily grasp that because she defaulted to this when she started praying. This might be her first language,
Yeah.
which is strange because she looks like a perfectly normal human.
Miss.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, and she like kind of like gets herself back up to a standing position.
That's that's going to take some getting used to.
Yes, well, it's you know, it's kind of different, whenever you're in the presence of someone that is directly talked to. It's they call those people a certain word, and I don't want to jump the gun, or jump the shark essentially.
That's fair.
Although firearms are a thing, so jump the gun might be a real expression.
Yeah.
So she's avoiding calling you a saint.
Yeah. You can call me Vitani. That is my name.
I guessed from the notes. Wow. So did you? Can I ask you some questions?
Of course.
Did you hear her voice? Did you hear it?
I did not get to hear it. Sad.
Correct. How did she speak to you?
Through the stars, they began to form words.
I understand. Okay. She was writing to you. Okay. That's amazing. How long ago was the vision?
How long ago would it have been now?
According to lore,
Cause I got that vision while we were still
right.
in the small village.
Correct. It was the evening when you returned to town. So it
Yes.
would have been on the 7th of Spells Day, Blossom. So
Uh-huh.
you guys are now in Green Rest. It's the 5th, so it's been almost a full month.
About a month ago.
So recently.
This isn't the first time I have been given something from her.
What else? Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm so curious. You
It,
have
it,
to forgive me if
it's
I'm prying.
no, it is fine. My master taught me to share things with fellow followers.
Hmm. Man,
That is how we all grow as a people.
well, this is all very incredible.
And Vitani points to her necklace.
That's 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 Moonstone, but it's not Moonstone. And she kind of like steps down from the steps from the where the pulpit is, and gets a little bit closer to look at. And she's holding the notebook in your notes in her
Uh-huh.
hand. Did you also show her the room page with the sword
Yes.
on it? Okay, all right. And she kind of leans in and she's looking at the moonstone, which it looks like polished moonstone, but there's a clear kind of glitter to it that is unique to that particular stone. The the copy that you had that you used to bargain with didn't have that same kind of energy in it. So she's like looking into it wide-eyed and stands up, and she just holding the notes. She kind of looks down and then corrects herself and holds out the papers to you and the notebook.
Yeah, take them.
I've never seen those runes before. What do they mean?
I'm not 100% sure.
What is this blade? I've never seen anything like it. It looks like it's not even connected.
This book, where I got this book just fell out and showed me these things. And
Oh, I didn't realize you took the whole book. That's okay.
no, I didn't.
Oh.
What I didn't take the whole book. I took the book to the table and started copying everything
That you could understand, right?
that I could understand.
And then when you looked back, they were runes, right? Okay,
And then she wrote down everything she could remember.
correct. Good. Okay. So it just fell out.
The book fell off the shelf while I was with my allies at the library.
Can I ask you something that might be out of bounds?
That is fine.
In the note, what she recorded, she speaks of an event that she couldn't see and that you were a part of. What happened?
Batani will give kind of a quick rundown of what happened in the village,
Mm-hmm.
and then what that was about after that event is when she got the vision.
Correct, right. So specifically, and I'll help you pinpoint this. So she mentioned, Saloon mentions to you that something that you guys did in that cave triggered an event that put you / your friends on a particular path. Not necessarily to a particular ending,
Right.
but that these events and everything related to a specific person or entity, they are blind to. So whenever they experience these blind spots, from that blind spot forward until the resolution of whatever that blind spot leads to, gods themselves experience the passage of time, and it brings a great unease to the astral planes. There are, kind of after she reads this and you kind of piece it together, something that you did in that cave kind of blanked her out, like blanked out Saloon, right? So piecing together what happened, most likely whatever happened in that cave that made her go blank, and since you guys are, in this kind of weird place now, might be because you came into the possession of something specific. And you have an idea of that because the crystal, as I mentioned, in that tesseract matches the crystal in the center of that blade.
I'll kind of explain that a little bit.
She's kind of like wringing her hands nervously, like excitedly, but also she kind of has this weird kind of like unease about her too. And she starts to like basically rub her thumb quickly along like her hand, like the side of her, like the top of her hand, and she just asks a next question, just kind of directly after. Do you have that thing with you?
I do not. I believe it is with one of my friends.
Probably good. It's good that you have friends too that you're traveling with. Uh,
They are a odd bunch, but they are good people.
she you can kind of see her kind of like I said, she has this unease about her, and there's a particular sentence that's kind of lingering in her mind. And she is starting to like just like physically like pull away, and she kind of just nods and she's like, so I mean, is there something I can do for you or something I can help with?
Is there something the matter?
I'm sorry, this is terribly rude. But like it says that there's a moment in time for you that's going to have cosmic consequences, right? And I mean, I'm hoping that I don't get cosmically consequenced right now.
I do not believe that is a current factor in this situation. I believe the factor itself will come when we are not really near a major area, or that is my belief.
Mm, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm just overthinking it. I apologize.
It is fine. But what do you know of do you have an idea of where we should head next?
I mean, have you? I'm sorry. I mean, you said you got this. You went to the college, I assume, right?
Yes.
Um, and you got some information. I understand. So, uh, quite honestly, if I were you, and this just is me, but if there is a, from what I understand from here, that you understand that there was a, right? Was this in here? Blind spots meeting. So that your eyes read, and then right. So no, it was before that. You were showed an image, and that's in your notes too, right? The
Yes.
description. If I were you, I would head to the College of the Performing Incantations. Um, they generally keep lore and have, you know, regional knowledge beyond standard area, but I mean, it's not all encompassing. But I mean, if you're looking for, you know, something like that, I mean, traveling minstrels would probably be the best way to go.
I guess that is where I need to head next.
Mm-hmm. If and I honestly, if you need anything, please don't feel, you know, scared to come in. I'm just, you know, I got nervous for a minute.
It is perfectly understandable. As you are nervous now, how do you believe I feel knowing that I will be in the center of this?
Well, I imagine I can't imagine that. That's crazy. I'm so glad you have people you're traveling with because I can't imagine doing that alone. And I mean, I was nervous about taking over this temple with just a few people to help me, and I was only in training for a little bit, but oh my god, I cannot imagine. I cannot. She's like half panic.
She's fairly young, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a young human.
Vitani will reach onto her quarterstaff and pluck the other moonstone that she uses on her quarterstaff
Mhm.
in case something happens to her necklace, and walks over and hands it to her. I believe you need this more than I do.
This
This is a piece of the same moonstone that is in my necklace that fell from the sky no more than 30 feet from my place that I was staying.
it's incredible. Oh, surely I can't accept this.
I believe you might be able to draw more from it. This way, you might not be as nervous as you seem to be.
Oh, I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I haven't even introduced myself, and she puts the moonstone in her left hand and then reaches out with her right.
Yeah,
I'm Fossilina.
Vitani. And the paw will come up and shake
Yeah.
her.
It's obviously bigger than hers.
Oh yeah, it's
her
a
being
big
a small,
paw.
yeah. So she shakes it. She feels, the difference in size, and you can see, like, for already being an emotional wreck, it just adds a hint of intimidation to the factor too.
Yeah.
But okay, so Fossilina is in possession of. That's the other. So that's the last third of that moonstone, right?
Let's see. She gave one to the man who helped make her necklace. She sent one to her temple.
Right.
One was in her necklace, and then one we sold, and then yeah, that's my last one.
Okay. So the one sold. Got it. Okay. So yeah, Fossilina, priestess of Saloon. Has that moonstone. Got it. Okay.
It may come in handy later on. Who knows?
I certainly imagine it will. Thank you. And she just seems like, I'm not saying blank, but she's just like out of things to say or ask.
Vitani will just simply state, I am sure you are doing your very best. And Saloon, I'm sure, does enjoy having you as head of this church.
I hope so. Truth be told, I was a follower of the Moonbow before I was of Saloon, and I recently converted. They're allies, but I would say 2 years ago, I converted, and the father took me under his wing. And after he retired recently, I've been seriously questioning everything. And meeting you, someone I never thought I'd come in contact with, be given a piece of a gift she gave directly to you. I'm so overwhelmed.
I believe you will do just fine. And the gods themselves work in odd ways. And perhaps maybe the reason I needed to come here was just so I can help you be a little bit more comfortable in your current position.
Maybe a little bit in the long run, but well, right now, maybe less comfortable, but challenges are challenges. But thank you.
Vitani smiles. Obviously, the teeth are there, but do you have a way to send a message to someone you not know personally?
That I don't know?
Yes.
Uh no, unfortunately the miracles that Saloon has granted on me are still very minor.
It was worth a try. I was wanting to see how my master was doing. Thank you anyway.
Of course. Thank you. I'm gonna finish what I was doing.
She nods.
And as you know, she kind of bids you farewell and then turns to start rearranging things that were already where they needed to be. Like she
Yeah.
already was done.
She's
But-
freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, now she's just questioning all of everything in life, even what's on this damn altar. Like just like the positioning of stuff, like so you can take your leave, and like just when you get like to the exit, just to like close the door behind you, just as she's like seeing you like exit, you see the girl again like hit like her knees in front of the altar and just like starts. If you could power pray, this would be like.
Aw, honey.
This is what that would look like. So
This is why she's like, yeah, this woman needs this so more than I do.
So in the timeline, technically, as you are exiting here, the bird shit apocalypse has happened, and the three of them were on their way to the inn, I think.
We were going to go find a bench to hide under.
Find a bench to hide under, which you did. They returned. You fed the seeds. They're good. So where are you going now?
Back to our room, I think.
Okay, so you're headed back to the Siren's Call. Vitani, where are you headed now?
Where she suggested I go.
Okay, so you're headed to the College of the Performing Incantations, which is
Johnny. I know a guy.
I know lots of people.
Again, Kaysa's kind of in her day. Cathend. So
Are
about
they
all the
alive?
time, I'm not
Don't
sure.
make maps.
So Cathend,
okay.
you arrive at the.
Did I hear my name?
Yes.
There we go. There he is.
Hey, so you're at the university.
Shoot the bird.
Everyone's kind of done their stuff. They're all in their move to the next situation. You arrive at the university with some questions. What are you hoping to find?
Oh, I don't even remember anymore.
Okay, hold on. Let me check. I probably have it recorded. So,
Did it have to do with the map that we have?
Oh, there it is.
There.
I had it recorded at the bottom. All three questions.
okay, what are they?
What are the creatures up north? Anything that we should be worried about on our travels up there? If we go up there.
If we go up there, okay.
Are there any folklore about the mythical creatures for a song, a tavern story, a children's book, something that idolizes the past, but they don't think it's real anymore?
Okay. That's a good question.
And something not child-friendly, the deadly stories. The ones that the older people, the cooks, the crazy people, all still believe it's real, but no one believes them anyway.
Okay. So let's start with the second one because you're going to get a pretty immediate response on that one, which is just basically head to the college because to the college because the university deals with more text, and the college is more of your stories, lore, and all that. So just kind of throwing that one out there.
Okay.
On the first question, which was what kind of beasts and stuff are north?
Any
Let's see.
ambush?
Let's see if any of the wizards would know. This was, it's a good question, and there's definitely an answer in this city. I just don't know if it's here.
Oh, there's an answer in the city, but I don't know if I have it.
Well, no, it's definitely a thing. It's just not common knowledge for, I think, wizards to have. No, they know of some, like just general like challenges. Of course, you want to dress warm because if you're not, that could be a challenge for you. If you're traveling north, they do let you know that the frozen wilds are mostly unexplored. The only region that's really been mapped out, if you're on the main page, I'll show it to you.
Let me find my Roll20. I have like freaking 50 damn tabs. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no worries. So literally, it's everything around this region has been checked out.
Yep.
So it's pretty much where you want to go, but the rest of all of this has been unexplored. And even though they say has been explored, they're kind of doing air quotes with it because everything that's white is mostly unmapped. They do let you know there are some pop-up cities up there that, some settlers went northwards. Technically, it's within the cradle of the kingdom, but it's not. You could say it's not necessarily enforced because there's no real. There's nothing up there for them, and there's a lot of trouble up that way. Rumors of. They will tell you there's rumors of giants. There's rumors of these weird ape-like creatures. But that's really all they have. Like, they don't really have any solid data. They just have some rumors. On your last question, it's pretty broad actually because wizards, bards, and sorcerers.
I'm looking for the settlements near that area. They might have the better tales.
Yeah, so they do tell you that, obviously, they would be better suited, but you'd have to get them from there because they don't necessarily travel down to Luxlin.
Oh, I plan to travel up there, so can you work out
fantastic
where these settlements are? I might be able to bring the stories back, if I come back.
So they have the same kind of, like at Hunter's Hall, they had like that half-world map. They has the same kind of thing that they can show you. And they just kind of just like circle their hands right around, the three towns up this way. He just says they're in this general area. They're just at the foot. Basically, when winter starts to be a thing forever, they're right there.
Okay. Well, that should be easy enough. And let's see where the rest of my colleagues want to travel to, and I'll make sure to jot it down.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
That's a pretty much all the questions he had prepared, because that's all he wanted to know was the terrain, the monsters, and any tales up there.
Right. So if you exit the university and head over to the college, go ahead and make me. Do I want to have you make this roll? Yeah, let's have you do it. Go ahead and make me 2 rolls. First is going to be not necessarily not going to say persuasion. Make a. Yeah, actually, yeah, just like a general charisma roll. For when you go over to the college, and then roll a, survival check. Oh, nice. Okay, 23. That's pretty good. So, I will get to you some knowledge, because they will have the persuasion was just to make sure you got the right person, which you needed to roll above a 12, so you got them. Then just to see the knowledge that they would have is why I asked you to roll survival. You did really well. So what I'll do is get you some information on some stuff that's been recorded up there in reference to mythical creatures and then like the nightmare stories.
That is what he's after.
Yep, so I'll send that to you as well. So I will put that reminder in your character channel like I did for Erica.
Was it Scott? Was Scott the right guy?
No.
Oh, damn.
So I guess I should say Scott is not the right guy. The right guy is in fact the dude in the Technicolor Dreamcoat you were looking for.
Motherfucker. Tell him he owes some guy 50 gold.
Self-reminder, stories and the lore for Northern Wilds. Got it. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you sent it to me. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, no, because I knew I would forget too.
Good call. All right, so you have, I would say right about the time you're leaving the college, because you're in there for quite a bit. They kind of give you like a lore dump, essentially, right? As you're coming out, you're gonna kind of pass by Vitani near like the grand entrance, like just kind of pass by. If you two are good, the rest of the group, we'll pause right there. The rest of the group, you guys, the 3 of you, made your way to the Siren's Call. It's right.
Yep.
Okay. So right now it's about late afternoon. We're probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. Sun's beginning to look like it's gonna start setting. Is there anything else specific you wanted to do with your day? Or are you happy to, bring it to the end?
I can message you later what Gex wants to do privately.
Okay, that's fine. As long as it's not super impactful. We'll go with Vitani, and then we'll clean up with Keza. Vitani, you've returned to the college. In search of some lore. And in the front, when you walk in, you actually just see John Donnelly kind of standing behind this tiny little desk that they have off to the side, like to try to look as unofficial as possible, but it's like the one workplace that they have in like the foyer.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there recording something. Oh, and there is a half-broken chair. Looks like it got caved in a little bit. Didn't quite fall down yet, but it's treacherous.
I kind of just tilt my head a little bit. Either someone got mad or Primus was here. So either Gex was here or Primus was here. Got it.
bold of you to assume.
As you look up and you're looking at the chair, he kind of looks up at you while you're looking at that caved-in chair. Excuse me. Did you need something?
Yes, I was told by the temple that you all might be able to assist me.
Okay. With?
Some runes and other items that I need to figure out where I need to go next.
Okay. Let's have a look at the runes first, I suppose.
Nah, hold on. Nah, sweet pea. Love you.
Kind of a weird thing to say to John, but okay.
Yeah.
I was talking to my child.
He goes to bed.
Your
You get
child's
on.
name is John?
You'll get any
No.
info.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
John Jacob Gibberheimer Schmidt.
So, okay, go ahead.
I kind of give a brief rundown, and then I pull out like the book with the runes and stuff.
Okay. So he takes the. You have the book, right? So it's just like the. The book with the runes.
It's the same notebook as everything.
Okay. Okay, good. So he starts.
It's one notebook.
I got you. The notebook that has all the stuff recorded in it. I got you.
Yes.
Okay. So you hand it over to him. He starts looking through, and he just kind of like flaps through until he gets to the page with the weird runes on it. And he looks down at it with a raised brow, and he kind of looks up at you, and he's like, "I don't think I've ever seen these runes before." Just one second, and he kind of like draws this little arcane thing in the air, and his eyes kind of flash, and he looks down at it, and then he looks away real fast. He's like, "Ah! Okay. That really hurt." And he kind of like puts his like elbow down on the table and like leans into his hand a little bit.
Are you okay?
No. I've in fact never come across something like this. It just... I don't want to say it's incomprehensible, because clearly it's meant to be read, but I think it's written in a language that transcends human understanding.
It's in one of the books.
Yes.
It was here, right?
Mhm.
One of the books here.
So no, it was one of the books at the university.
It was in one of the books at the university.
Well, yes. I mean, I imagine, we have a collection of books, too, that we've probably not all read, right? So, I mean, looking at the runes normally, and you kind of, like, see him, like, wave his hands as, like, his eyes, like, flash again as he drops the comprehend language spell. And he looks, like, back down at him, like, real carefully, and then looks at him, like, more confidently. He's like, apparently magic can't translate this, and it literally assaults the person's mind when you try. Were you able to read this?
Yes.
Incredible.
Do you need some healing?
Maybe? Yeah, he, took 20...
I place my hand, or my claw on his shoulder.
Okay, 9. So he gets 9 of his 20 hit points back that he lost. Good berry. 1 healing.
Good berry.
Well, waiting for the 40 HP Goodberry one.
That's right.
Is that better?
A little, yes. Oh, it's incredible. you were able to understand this. Can you understand it now? And he like turns it to you.
I look at it.
Can't understand a damn thing that's on that page.
She shakes her head.
Christ, how were you able to understand it the first time?
She shrugs. I don't know. The book fell off of the shelf, and I picked it up to help the person put it back, and I just flipped through it while they were trying to find the original book, and I was just able to read it.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, well, I won't look at this again. Let's see. And he starts flipping back and eventually gets to a couple of interesting pieces. So, is there something specific? Like, there's a lot of very interesting information in here. But, is there something you're specifically looking to do with it?
Understand it? Vitani's just like, I'm trying to figure out where my next path is supposed to lead.
Okay.
She kind of explains a little bit of different things and the weirdness of it.
Right, okay. So, when you're telling John about, like, you know, getting the direct message from your god, like, he seems far less interested. Like, he's just like, yeah, that happens all the time, whatever. He's not nearly as impacted as the others have been.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the part about the artifact showing up, and you're trying to go through that, right?
Yeah.
You kind of pique his interest a little bit. This is interesting. The part about the person that can't be seen by the gods. Now that's interesting. Do you know who actually was able to provide them with the image?
She just kind of looks at him.
Cool. Next, the artifact.
Yeah.
Strange, because I read a book. Oh man, long time ago. Told of a story very similar to this. They were contacted by some deity that they were attached to, and they went on a pilgrimage. I can tell you it was to the north. I'm going to see if I can find that book specifically. But if I recall, it tells of them meeting a particular creature and being in a particular space that lacked sense. I'm not sure. I don't remember the tale specifically, but give me a moment. We have a lore section. Actually, come with me. And he kind of waves you as he kind of gets out of his chair a lot more sprier than you would have anticipated for a man who looks kind of elderly.
She'll follow.
Mm-hmm. So you follow, and he's going through multiple books. Like, you guys get to this library. It looks like it has a bunch of old literature in it. Like, and none of them have proper, like, print bindings like you'd find on a magically scripted book. They're literally journals. They're just, everything in here is first-hand account of someone else taking notes. So it's not legitimate lore under the eyes of the university, but it has been fruitful in the past. It takes him close to 45 minutes before he makes his way to another section, and about just, I want to say 5 minutes into that, he pulls out one, opens it up, and it's what he's looking for, and begins to thumb through it. He like just walks it over. He's like, "Here we are. This is the explanation. It seems like this gentleman recorded his travels to the north. He was supposed to meet with a creature that was calling to him. However, when he got to a particular spot, I don't know and he holds up like a page to you, and it has like a crudely drawn kind of area. As far as like being like looking at maps and all that, this particular page, you can tell is just literally someone scratching out something that might make sense in their mind, but it isn't nearly like a perfect map of any sort. And he continues on as he turns it around. So, according to this man, he had traveled north, went to some place, one of the mountains, just before the Frozen Wild. So he must have been, and he kind of like walks you out of the room and leads you into where all those maps were. And in this room, I should have pointed this out to you too, Primus, so take note. There was actually a full, pretty goddamn accurate map of the continent, minus the outlying isles. So, like, you don't see, these aren't noted. A lot of these are missing. This down here is here, but this little one's MIA. But otherwise, it's pretty close.
Okay.
And he points to this
That's
region.
super helpful to me.
This region.
Okay.
Yes, I realized it would be, and I should have mentioned that. So he points out this particular mountain range. He's like, according to this, I imagine that these mountains that he very poorly recorded here, are there, because he mentions that he didn't necessarily, that he wasn't preparing for the north, and apparently it didn't get too cold where he was, so I would imagine if he was in a mountain range north of here, but it was close to the Frozen Wilds, as he mentions, it has to be this, possibly this, but that doesn't seem too right. But this is still a pretty big range. However, he does note, and he turns it over, and he mentions that he had a, essentially a hilt of a sword on him, and that the hilt itself allowed him to basically fight with proficiency, being that he was just essentially a traveling mage, but he could actually wield this sword as if he had been sword fighting his entire life. And gave him some limited abilities to utilize, essentially, on the way. Interestingly enough, this book ends very similarly to the other book. Once he had delivered the item and lost track of it, slowly began to descend in madness.
Huh. That sounds familiar.
I will note that this descent, the slow descent, from what you saw in the other journal, the dude pretty much documented until he couldn't, make coherent sense. This person was losing their mind at a much, from what you can tell by what few dates are included, much more slowly, and doesn't really fully devolve. Like, his writing stays semi-coherent through the end, and this journal ends probably 10 years after the incident, but the entries are far more sparse in the back half.
Got it.
So the first one was like a complete drop. Like, he went from from insanity to full sanity to insanity. This person was a perfectly fine individual and then just started sloping off through his decade. So it wasn't at all a quick burn. So he gives you that information. And
she's jotting all this down in her notebook.
Of course. And closing it up, he rubs his chin a little bit, And I have just the thing. And he like turns and then he stops and then he looks back at you. I do trade in favors occasionally. I believe I have something that could help you narrow this down, but you're going to owe me one in the future.
She looks at him and raises an eyebrow.
It's not ever bad. Sometimes we lore keepers find out that there's interesting lore somewhere to be acquired and brought back and stored here. In the future, if such knowledge were to either you trip upon it or we find it and need someone to acquire it for us, I would expect you to do either or. But not both.
I believe that is acceptable. I'm guessing you gave my friends the same deal.
Oh no, I wasn't alive when this happened. He starts walking over to a shelf that's in the map area, right? It has a lock on it, and he says a little phrase.
No, she asked if he gave her friends the same deal.
Oh no, they were looking for something that benefited me too, so it was a fair trade. Just I can do it while I'm doing it.
Ah.
Yeah, wasn't any trouble or hassle. This is actually a little bit more. Here's the thing. I'm going to give this to you for that favor, but also I would like this back at some point.
Very well.
So that's when he goes over and he says a little phrase in front of it. It's in Elvish. And then you hear like a noticeable sound like of an unlocking, and then he opens up the shelf. And you see inside these 3 golden kind of like just rods. And at the end of one side, there's like a little ball. And he picks one up, closes it, locks it up, walks over to you, and he hands you the rod.
I take it and look at it.
This particular rod, how do I say? It only works for a person once. Whenever you're looking for something specific, whether it be your intended destination, where your next step is, if in relation to that relic or such, you can focus on it. It will essentially point you in the direction you need to go up until you arrive. When you arrive, you'll hear a little chime, essentially. It'll tell you you're there, or as close to it there as it can get you. Once you've essentially used the item, you'll never be able to use it again. So whatever you're looking for, make sure you're focusing on that when you use it.
She nods.
He hands it to you.
Fine.
Alright, so you have a rod of questing. He's giving you the knowledge he has on that topic. Anything else you're looking for?
No, that's pretty much it for her.
Alright.
And for me, because it's 11.
Yeah. It's getting late, right? So.
And I gotta work in the morning.
So yeah, so does Christy. So.
Zia's turn.
Yes, you all kind of collect. Woman. You all kind of collect at the siren's call. Keza, you already know how your night's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
After you are done with Amber, you return to the group, who I imagine are gathering for dinner.
Noms.
Real quick, I want to slip away. I'll tell like Rye and Primus. I'll meet them back at the end. I want to go to a store that sells candy.
Yeah, easy. You can find a confectioner without problem.
All right. How much for candy?
For assorted candy, do you want hard candy or do you want chocolate?
Mix.
Mix. Let's say 2 gold, and you'll get a pound of hard candy, just like a solid pound of hard candy that is of fine make. It's a really expensive brand. So 1 gold for 1 pound expensive candy.
I don't need expensive candy. Let's go like mid tier.
Okay, so you're looking for mid tier. All right, so you could probably acquire a bunch of rock candy that's just seasoned with various fruit juices and sugar.
Yes.
For almost, I don't know, nothing. You could probably get 5 silver for like a large quantity.
About 5 pounds.
Sure.
All right, I'll do that. So you said 5 silver, and how much for the chocolate?
Chocolate's much more. It's more expensive because that's the rare thing on this side of the continent.
All right, but just give me an estimate for a couple bars.
So for, let's say, 3 bars of their chocolate, like just their base level chocolate, is going to be 15 silver, 5 silver a bar.
5 silver a bar.
Yeah.
I'll bump it up to 4 bars for 2 gold.
2 gold sold.
And how big are these bars?
They're about the size of a king-sized Hershey bar.
All right, just on the safe side, I'll buy 4 more. So.
All right.
What? 4 gold total.
4 gold total for 8 bars of chocolate.
Yes. All right. Any drinks that they have? Candy drinks or like soda pops?
Not a thing yet.
Not a thing yet. Yeah, not a thing yet. Okay.
Yeah, the only sugar drinks you're gonna get are little fruit juices.
All right. What's the legal age of drinking here?
What's medieval times? So there really wasn't an age.
If you could walk, talk, and wield a weapon, you could drink.
You could drink.
All right. I'll buy a thing of wine.
They'll give it to you.
But you can already travel in bag. Why do you want a wine?
This is.
You know what? No, let's go mead. Let's go mead.
Mead, easy. What are you looking for? They don't have a bottle of mead. That's stuff sold in casks.
How big is a cask compared to my body?
You could get one that's probably your body, like one of those small miniature casks that might have 10 glasses worth of mead in it for 5 silver.
All right. What if I have them put rope on it so I can carry it like a giant backpack?
They'll do it for free.
All right. I'll buy one double that. The normal size cask. How much?
Well, it's double that, so double that.
So a gold.
Yeah. So if you buy so you get that one, and then the next step up would actually just be like a standard barrel.
Yeah, I just want to strap it on my back.
To help you out, CJ, the minimum drinking age did not become a thing in the world till 1980.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, this medieval times, that's not a... there wasn't a thing. I think in the 1800s it wasn't a thing.
Okay, and with all of that, I head to the orphanage.
Okay, you head to the orphanage.
We can do this later if you want.
Later, okay. So
roleplay.
Orphanage stuff happens.
Burn it down.
You all come back, having dinner, and just as you're having dinner, Kaiza comes in from her little adventure.
His
little adventure.
Yeah, bitch, get it right.
Listen.
I thought Kaiser couldn't have meat.
What?
What?
Oh, I thought she was vegetarian.
Oh my god.
Mead is fermented honey and water.
Woman!
Stop it, the lot of you.
God. Okay, Kaiza, you come back. You see your companions who you've been traveling with for about a month now. sitting down, having a meal, kind of discussing what they've discovered today.
Thinking.
And then we fed the birds bird seed.
That was you?
Gex is not at dinner with the rest of the group. He's still gone.
Technically, that was Gex.
Oh, I seem to have noticed that those birds were purposely dive bombing. But that's not important right now. I seem to have stumbled into something of seemingly dubious importance. I haven't identified how important, but it has my curiosity. As I'm thinking, he scratches the side of his face a little bit as he's like, one of the lords of the town that we were previously residing in was found murdered in his manor.
Murdered?
Yes, I'm not quite sure. Who would want the Lord dead? From what I understand, his reputation wasn't the most favorable. He obviously could have made some enemies, but it was at around the same night that I was doing charity work. And when I went to talk with my associate today, after catching up with her, it seems as though there's more.
Uh-oh. Casey, I think you cut out, man. Seems there's more ...
Isa?
The suspense is killing us.
Tap, 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 tap.
I think she might have died. I think Tina got to her.
Well,
Have you tried?
they didn't use Gex's mead, did they?
Rest in peace. Tell your wife to stop breaking shit in the kitchen. You paid good money for that.
Hey, you paid good money for it. That's the reason she can break it.
That's why we don't have nice things. Murder in the other town.
Hey, while we're here, real quick, CJ, I'm going to the orphanage. Can I find any youths nearby?
What's that?
When I get at the orphanage, I'm looking for a big group of kids.
Well, yeah, next to the orphanage is a pretty big... It's caved in. I mean, not caved in. Fenced in.
Shit!
Gex gets there and caves it in immediately.
It's fenced in. It's not like walled off, but it's fenced in. At the corner of each side of it is like the fence is missing, so it's just like a wall, a gap, a wall, a gap, and a wall. It's off to the side of the orphanage, with the fourth wall serving as the wall to the actual orphanage. And there are a number of kids, probably a dozen or so, just out there playing in the playground.
You roll up with the equivalent of medieval times shifty van.
I'm carrying this barrel.
Donkey.
Yeah.
No, I'm still carrying it myself. I walk to the group. What are the age ranges in this group of orphans?
So they're all pretty young still, like 12 or under. None of them are like toddlers though. They're 6, 5 is probably the youngest.
All right, perfect. This is the exact group I'm looking for. And I walk up to the group. Excuse me. Does anybody here like candy?
Hello?
Hey,
Hey, there's Zia.
welcome back.
Okay, we can do this. Take over this later. Go ahead, Zia.
What a cliffhanger.
What was the last thing you heard from me?
He spoke
So
with an associate who seems to have more information. ...
I think I got too loud and they cut me off again, so it's whatever.
Oh.
I just didn't keep track of the time, it's whatever. Anyway. And that made me lose my train of thought, so you gotta give me a second.
yeah,
Alright, go ahead, Gex. Or are we gonna wait?
You want me to do my thing while you think about it, or you just want to wait a second? Zia?
When I caught back with my associate, there you go. When I caught back with my associate, it seems that whatever group they're participating with seems to have some mysteries around it. They seem rather secretive, if anything. So convoluted, but yet here I am. And I have seemed to find out myself with material that I have no idea how to quite use. Though its rarity is certainly befitting.
So,
If any of you could find a possible use for any of this, well, I would appreciate any ideas. As for its monetary value, it's nothing that I am interested in. And yeah, unicorn horn, bam.
unicorn horn.
so just real quick, it is not a very commonly known thing what a unicorn is. I would say Cathend could make a history check. Primus, when she kind of pulls it out, because of your relation, like your direct relation with the earth, and just being able to feel Terra's presence, there is something about the horn. You can feel basically everything around you. You can kind of feel basically a ebb and a flow and a resonance with it, right?
Mhm.
The resonance of this unicorn horn is not in sync with the planet. And it's the first time you've ever felt something discordant like that in the flow around you.
Mm.
Yeah. Cathend, missed the DC, man. In your travels, you haven't quite come across what a unicorn is.
Marvel's better.
Marvel's better.
Something is wrong with that.
Oh, is that the wrong kind of DC?
Yeah.
It could be a correlation to the place that I found it in. The individuals seem to have some kind of shrine to dark deities. Ones that I would not wish to have their attention of. So maybe this was kept in a rather secret place, so maybe it was tainted by some kind of ritual? Dark arts, perhaps? Whatever they were planning on using this for?
It has an odd feeling. We can't quite explain it, but it's not right.
If it's bad, shouldn't it just go away? Get rid of it?
No, I can't simply just get rid of it. It was entrusted to me.
Then give it back.
I cannot, they're already gone.
It's entrusted to you, and you can't give it back. You can't destroy it, so you're going to give it away?
I'm going to find a use for this. For the time being, as I currently
It's pointy.
I currently have no use of its monetary value. It's a rather expensive item from what I was told. But I would much rather use it for its material purposes. If that is what the original intention of giving it to me was.
Does it look natural? DM?
So it does, for what you've been familiar with, it kind of resembles ivory in a way, but it has like a pearlescent tone to it, and it just doesn't seem like it belongs. You know what I mean? It's just not the right. It doesn't belong here.
Could I do maybe a nature check or a medicine check to try and figure it out?
This would actually be Arcana. I'll say Vitani and Primus could make Arcana rolls.
I'm super good at Arcana.
Yeah,
Let me just fail this real quick.
Vitani. Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, that's not actually that bad. That's pretty good for me.
All right, let me sit up. 16.
Okay, well, Vitani's DC was a little bit higher. Way below it.
I mean, I have a +1 in Arcana.
Yeah, yeah.
That's 0.
Primus, you would have had to have hit a 20.
Yeah.
What it'd be used for, the guys aren't sure of. Oh yeah, if Kathen had heard of what a unicorn is because of his history.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably would have been a good role for him, but
The guy who doesn't use magic is proficient in Arcana. Wrap your
let's
heads around
try.
that.
Okay.
Thought I would have been able to figure it out since my best friend's a unicorn, but that's okay.
Yep. No, believe me, I get it.
The rolls are not with you today.
Yeah, that's why I gave you a DC 20 and I gave Vitani a 25. I didn't realize that her Arcana was non-existent, but
Yeah, I would not have been able to hit that period.
I would have said no. You can't do it. You're unaware. But
if it was a nature roll, I would have had that 20. It would have been a dirty 20, but
yeah.
Oh well. Shit.
But yeah, so not sure. But according to Amber, it has some value beyond just being worth gold.
Well, yeah, that's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, now simply call me curious. It's just simply I don't exactly know what purpose this could serve yet. But my bigger concern is whatever is going on between this group I seem to have found myself association with and whatever is going on with the lords of the land. It's quite unusual that one would die the exact same night I went out, and with no association with my contacts group either, from at least from what I could discern. Now, I am not one to have any what's the word? Any care in any manner whatsoever of the wealthy and their lifestyles and anything of that manner. At least
Oh no.
Not again. Oh,
Oh, there was a pop.
was that me?
oh, hi, there you are.
Oh, fuck, shitballs ass. My internet's so fucking terrible when it's not in fucking.
God damn. That sucks so much.
The suspense.
What's it called? Fucking Alan or whatever. Can
Yeah.
connect. Hello.
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 Low.
Okay,
No.
so fucking. Okay, am I still here?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe?
Real quick, notes of interest. I see that I am in an odd situation with the involvement of the murders of the rich people and also the group that is mysterious and also WoW. And that mostly I just simply wish to return the kindness that the person that has not given me their true name, but I at least have a name that I can call them by now. As they seem rather in a situation of distress at the very least. But for the time being, I have not a lot of information to go by. The murder of the Lord in the previous town. This dubious organization and whatever purpose this may serve, as well as a few other trinkets I managed to acquire.
Do we need to go back?
I'm not quite sure what my next course of action should be. The person that I was in contact with is going to be sent off into a random place that I have no idea of. There's no way to figure that out, or if any way currently that exists at least, among our group's capabilities, and I didn't get to learn much about the group in question itself. And I was not there to witness the scene of the Lord's murder. It was simply a word of mouth that I've caught speaking with people here and there on our way over. So right now I don't have many leads of anything. Seems to be a lot of strange occurrences that have been happening one after the other. With the infection of the river water starting things off, the dwarves planning an invasion of the neighboring lands, and now the murder of a rich lord in the previous town. Not to mention Rise people being ridden with a plague of some kind.
Very sick. Need fixing.
Hmm. We have not found out any new information on any of those, but maybe one of the others have?
A lot of questions. Well, should the others have anything to add, I would love to hear any information that they may have to offer. I mean, as far as I know, at the very least, I don't think Gex is very knowledgeable in these matters of high blood societies and secret organizations of any sort, not that I am aware of. And Vitani is more of a religious figure. Their faith is what their specialty is.
If you need help, I'll help. If you have to do those charities again, take one of us with you so you have a witness.
That would be something that would be rather good, having an extra set of eyes.
We can become pocket-sized if you believe.
Pocket-sized Primus. That's funny.
Yes, that does sound rather humorous.
Not for a long time, but okay amount. Long enough to get in and out of some places. Big web.
Oh, what was that?
It's innocent. Oh, did I cut out again?
Yeah,
Hello?
sorry.
Okay, just checking. Am I here?
Yeah, you're here now.
You might
Okay. Okay. I appreciate the help that you guys have been, the kindness you have offered, and I intend to repay it whenever the opportunity presents itself. However, while I have discovered a new endeavor here, I'd rather it was just simply traveling to travel and learn things here and there. Uh, I'm not sure if any of you have discovered any potential leads to your causes and your problems here in the town's collection of knowledge as of yet.
We need to go to the desert.
Which way is the desert?
South, west, east, southeast.
East.
Vitani's ears like kind of go down a little bit.
East? I thought you said west.
I need to go to the north.
Oh dear. Already some conflict in direction. Right, do you have any idea of anything to help your people?
I need to stop the magic. So whatever magic it is that's making my people sick, we need to find the person or the thing that's making them sick and get rid of it. I don't know where that is. I went to Willow West because the plants were getting sick and the water was getting sick and it was making the people sick. But it's not the water making my people sick. I was hoping it had a clue, but it didn't. Other than it was magic plant water.
I didn't ask anyone in the college if they have any expertise in magical sicknesses.
Would they know that? I figured I'd ask healers, but college maybe.
Perhaps these people are studying many different.
Okay. I'll have to do that in the morning before we go then.
We spoke to a John Donnelly who knew many things. Maybe he can help.
Okay, I can do that. What they look like?
Like human with large beard and tight robes.
Tight ropes?
Yes.
Yeah. They walk across the ceiling?
Maybe, but we did not watch him do so. He walked
Type
on the floor.
robes.
Oh, robes! Robes! You said rope. I was thinking circus, tightrope.
Maybe we misspoke, but anyway.
What is the reason that you need to go to the desert, Primus?
A friend is there studying artifacts. We just wish to see them. More for us, but we still wish to help Rye in curing the forest. That seems to affect everything, not just her. It's more important.
Yes. This is of a rather grave concern. And what is it that you seek in the north, Adani?
Well, that is a long and complicated story that Erica doesn't have time to tell. Because Erica is getting exhausted.
Have to roll that Constitution save soon.
Yep.
Yeah, considering
I failed that Constitution save about a half hour ago.
Yeah, same. And today was my first day back to work, so I really need to get some rest.
Oh, we calling the session here so we can stop the recording?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wait.